The world is full of unexplained events, occurrences that defy logic and challenge our understanding of reality. These mysteries beckon us, daring us to unravel their secrets, to venture into the unknown. Mysteries linger in the air, refusing to dissipate, clinging to the atmosphere like a persistent fog. They whisper tales of the unexplained, hinting at forces beyond our comprehension. Tonight we journey to the Bass Strait, a stretch of water shrouded in enigma and whispered legends. A treacherous channel between mainland Australia and Tasmania, a place where the sea's fury meets the sky's wrath. Wild winds howling like tormented spirits, unpredictable currents swirling and churning with unseen power. And a history of vanished ships and planes, swallowed by the sea without a trace, leaving behind only unanswered questions, have earned it a fearsome reputation, a name whispered with caution and a sense of unease. Some say you can hear the whispers of the lost on a quiet night, carried on the wind, a chorus of forgotten souls. The Bass Strait blurs the line between the known and the unknown, a liminal space where reality seems to fray at the edges. In 1978, a year etched in the annals of aviation mystery, a young pilot named Frederick Valentich, full of dreams and aspirations, flew into this twilight, unaware of the darkness that awaited him. He was not expecting trouble, anticipating a routine flight, nor to become the center of one of aviation's most chilling mysteries, a case that continues to baffle experts and fuel speculation. What happened that night remains unsolved, lost to the depths of the ocean and the vagaries of time. A puzzle with missing pieces, scattered and incomplete, defying any attempt at a coherent picture. Official reports offer tidy explanations, attempting to provide closure and quell the unease, but the facts tell a stranger story, a narrative filled with anomalies and unexplained phenomena. Controllers were left baffled by what they heard, the garbled transmissions painting a picture of confusion and fear. Valentich's disappearance is more than a missing person, more than just an aviation incident. It's a journey into the unknown, a descent into the abyss of unexplained mysteries. Join us as we examine the evidence, scrutinizing every detail, listen to his final words, the chilling audio that offers a glimpse into his final moments, and explore the theories that have haunted this case for decades, fueling speculation and debate. Was it a tragic accident, a consequence of pilot error or mechanical failure, or did Valentich encounter something truly otherworldly, something that defies our understanding of the universe? The mystery endures, a haunting reminder of the vast unknown that surrounds us. Scene? Frederick Valentich was 20 years old, a young man with a burning ambition. He was passionate about flying, dedicating himself to mastering the skills needed to earn a commercial pilot's license. Every spare moment was spent studying aviation charts, poring over flight manuals, and dreaming of a life amongst the clouds. On October 21st, 1978, the skies over Australia presented a picture-perfect scene. Conditions were ideal, promising a smooth and uneventful journey, perfect for a routine training flight. He planned a straightforward trip, a navigational exercise from Moorabbin Airport just outside Melbourne down to King Island and back. The route covered about 235 kilometers each way, a manageable distance for an evening flight. His Cessna 182L, registered as Delta Sierra Juliet, had been meticulously prepared. It was fueled, checked and ready for the skies. Valentich took off at 6:19 p.m, right as the sun began its descent. His voice was calm and professional as he made his initial reports, keeping air traffic control informed of his position and intentions. The sun set, painting the sky with fiery hues before disappearing below the horizon. The Strait's dark waters merged with the encroaching night, creating a vast, inky expanse. Alone in the cockpit, surrounded by the darkness, he was just another pilot on what should have been a simple routine journey. But as he neared Cape Otway, a rugged and remote stretch of coastline, the routine would shatter in a way no one could have predicted. The calm professionalism in his voice, so evident at the start of the flight, would soon give way to confusion, a growing sense of unease creeping into his transmissions. Then fear, a primal emotion gripping him as the situation spiraled out of control. Something was waiting in the darkness, lurking just beyond the edge of what was known. Something that did not belong in the skies above the vast Strait. The stage was set for a mystery that would baffle investigators, fuel speculation, and remain unsolved for generations to come. Valentich's routine flight was about to transform into a desperate and terrifying encounter with the unknown, a chilling tale etched into aviation history. The clock ticked relentlessly onward. At 7:06 p.m, Frederick Valentich's voice, a young pilot on a routine training flight, suddenly broke the calm of the evening airwaves. His words, transmitted from the cockpit, would soon become the centre of an enduring mystery. He calmly asked air traffic control at Melbourne if there was any known air traffic in his vicinity, any other aircraft nearby that he should be aware of. The response was immediate and clear. The radar screens were clear. No other aircraft detected in the area surrounding Valentich's flight path. Then Valentich reported seeing something extraordinary. A large craft with 4 intensely bright lights positioned below it. The lights seemed to pulse with an otherworldly glow. Intrigued and perhaps a little concerned, he circled his aircraft to get a better look at the unusual phenomenon, but the object reacted in a way that defied explanation. Moving with impossible speed and agility, far beyond the capabilities of any known aircraft. It then executed a maneuver, passing directly over him, moving far too fast, exhibiting characteristics far beyond those of any conventional plane or known technology. Valentich's confusion and growing unease were clear in his voice. He struggled to reconcile what he was seeing with everything he knew about aviation, with all of his training and experience. The air traffic controller, equally puzzled, confirmed again. No other aircraft were visible on radar, no other contacts. Valentich, trying to make sense of it all, described the object as metallic, shiny, and emanating a strange green light, which was orbiting above him in seemingly random, erratic patterns. He strained to describe its shape with increasing difficulty, long but ultimately indistinct and hard to define. His breathing grew strained and rapid. The pilot was clearly becoming distressed. Adding to the unsettling nature of the encounter, the object seemed to play games with him, vanishing, and then suddenly reappearing in different locations. What began as a routine flight had rapidly transformed into a surreal and terrifying ordeal, broadcast live, unedited and unfiltered over the open airwaves for anyone listening to hear. This was clearly no ordinary aircraft, and Valentich was no longer experiencing an ordinary flight. As the minutes ticked by, the radio conversation grew more frantic and disjointed, the mystery surrounding the unidentified object deepening with every fragmented word and strained transmission. Frederick Valentich, in his final transmissions, was witnessing something that defied explanation, something that seemed utterly impossible. The tension peaked as the controller pressed for details. Valentich's reply was chilling. "It's not an aircraft." The object approached again, its movements aggressive and unpredictable. Valentich's engine began to run rough, adding a new layer of danger. Was the object interfering with his plane? He intended to proceed to King Island, but dread filled his voice. The green light hovered above him, a single, eerie beacon. Valentich repeated, "It's hovering and it's not an aircraft." The controller could only listen, helpless. Suddenly Valentich reported the object had vanished. Then, "It's hovering on top of me again." He was no longer just an observer, but a participant in something inexplicable. The radio became his lifeline to the known world, slipping away with each second. The final, terrifying moments were about to begin. The final seconds of the transmission cemented the case in legend. After reporting the object above him, the radio fell silent. Then, a strange metallic scraping noise, 17 seconds of unexplainable sound. Some described it as metal grinding, others as rapid clicks, unnatural and alien. It was the last sound ever received from Delta Sierra Juliet. The line went dead. Only static remained. The controller called for Valentich, but there was no reply. Valentich, his plane and the strange object were gone. The ordeal had lasted just 6 minutes. The silence that followed was absolute. A pilot had described a terrifying encounter, ended with a bizarre sound and vanished. The questions began immediately, but answers never came. The chilling silence became the heart of the mystery, a void where a young man's voice had been moments before. A massive search and rescue operation began within minutes. Aircraft and boats scoured over 1,000 square miles of the Bass Strait. For 4 days, searchers found nothing. No wreckage, no oil slick, no trace of Valentich or his plane. Aircraft almost always leave debris, but here, there was nothing. The official search ended on October 25, 1978. Authorities presumed a crash, but the lack of evidence only deepened the mystery. How could a plane and pilot vanish so completely? The absence of evidence became its own clue. The search ended in nothingness, leaving only haunting questions. In the absence of evidence, speculation thrived. The UFO theory seized the public imagination. Valentich's own words fueled it. He described a craft that hovered, moved impossibly fast, and had a green light. Around the same time, others reported strange lights and objects over the Bass Strait. Some even photographed odd shapes in the sky. The theory, a UFO collided with or abducted Valentich and his plane. The metallic noise? Perhaps the sound of the Cessna being taken. No wreckage was ever found. Did the UFO take everything? Official investigators dismissed it, but the theory refuses to die. For many, Valentich was a witness who got too close to something not of this earth. Official investigators sought a more grounded explanation. The leading theory, spatial disorientation. Valentich, inexperienced and flying over featureless sea at night, may have become confused and crashed. The lights he saw could have been reflections, the green light a planet or star. The metallic noise remains unexplained. Valentich's family rejected this theory, insisting he was careful and level-headed. The weather was clear, the horizon should have been visible. The official theory tidies up the mystery, but leaves key questions unanswered. It fails to explain the strangeness of his final transmission. The shadow of doubt lingers. Decades have passed, but the mystery remains. Valentich's case is a modern legend, a story with no ending. The haunting audio of his final transmission keeps the case alive. Was he a victim of inexperience, or did he encounter something truly unknown? The details, his conviction, the green light, the metallic sound, defy easy explanation. These are the threads that unravel the simple accident theory. Did he stumble into a reality stranger than we can comprehend? Theories abound, but the truth is elusive. The Bass Strait keeps its secrets. All we have are the echoes of Valentich's last words, a chilling fragment of a story we may never know. We are left to wonder, to look up at the night sky and question what might be looking back. The silence after his final transmission endures, a testament to one of the most perplexing, unsolved mysteries of our time.